Hello guys, it is me 420 Dragon, and today we're going to be talking about the new best land cycle in Pauper. So, this card, Perilous Landscape, was leaked maybe a week or two ago. It is a common, and I think this is going to be the best land cycle in Pauper. So this land has a lot going on. First of all, it's basically like a 3-color Evolving Wilds. You can search for either a mountain, island, or plains card. Presumably this will come as a cycle, so there will be like at least 4, maybe even 10 copies of these, one for each 3-color pair. But yeah, so you can play it, you can sack it, and you can go get a mountain, island, or plains card. This effect has been printed a lot of times in Pauper, nothing special there. What sets this card apart, however, is that you can also just play it, and it has this ability right here to tap and add a mana. So you can either use it as an Evolving Wilds, or you can just use it to make a mana to maybe play your 2-cost card, or your 3-cost card on curve, if you need to. This added versatility is actually huge. This is part of what makes Ash Barrens such a good card in the Familiars deck specifically, is that you can use it sort of with this functionality, but the thing about Ash Barrens is that if you play it, you won't later get to sack it and put out your colored mana source, unless you like have a bounce land to bring it back, which is why it can work in the Familiars deck. But this card can do both. You can play it on curve to help you curve out, and then later on, if you need to get a colored mana or you have an extra mana lying around, you can just sack it and go get the basic mountain, plains, or island that you need. And as if this effect already wasn't good enough, hint, it was good enough, they gave it cycling for a white, a blue, and a red, which just puts it way over the top. Honestly, I think that's completely unnecessary. Like, this card would have seen play. This card would probably have been one of the best lands in Pauper without this cycling effect. But they just give it a cycling effect too, and like, okay, this card is just absolutely insane. So let's talk about 3-color decks in Pauper. Obviously, with the cycling effect, it really doesn't want to go in 2-color decks, or at least 2-color decks aren't going to get the full value out of it. I think it's actually fine in 2-color decks, to be honest. Like, just having the versatility of making a land that can help you curve out, and then later being able to sack and get, like, you know, whatever, your red or white land, or your blue or black land, I'm assuming there's one of those, is, you know, obviously, as we just talked about, extremely powerful in Pauper. But I think that these might help enable 3-color strategies as well. In the past, there have been some cards that enable 3-color strategies, like Prophetic Prism, or Abundant Growth, or Arkham's Astrolabe, things like that. But really, those aren't for 3-color strategies. Those more enable 5-color strategies. So, it's not specifically enabling a 3-color strategy. Like, at that point, you might as well dip into that 4th color to get that, you know, extra card that makes your late game really strong, or whatever, just because you have this built-in 5-color source. But this card actually gives an incentive to play real 3-color decks, which is not something that we've seen a lot of in Pauper. There have been times where Familiars decks have splashed a 3rd color. There have been times where Skyfisher decks have been blue, white, and red. But overall, I think this land will enable a lot more exploration in terms of 3-color strategies, and also just in already existing strategies, even 2-color strategies. This type of land is extremely powerful. I think it's straight up better than Ash Barrens, which was already one of the best lands in Pauper. So yeah, thanks for watching. Click subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video, and actually pretty excited for this to come out. Peace.